sweet, sweet couple. I'm not sure which order they're speaking, or maybe they're even speaking at the same time. So I'm going to introduce them at the same time. Nandasutta met Gurudeva in 1997 and took Harinam the very same year, and Diksha in 1998. And Sarojini, his wife, she met Gurudeva in 2001 and didn't hang around at all, because she took Harinam and Diksha the very same year. I'm very, very grateful, and I remember you so warmly, both of you, so welcoming, so sweet, always smiling under any pressure. Please offer your Pushpanjali. Welcome, a very warm welcome.
Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Srisimad Bhaktivedanta Narayani Tinamine Bhaktya Vihina Maparana Lakshe Kshetam Nakchat Madhitarangamadye Kripa Mohitvam Sharanam Prapana Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam. Firstly, I'd like to offer my humble dandavat, heartfelt dandavat pranams to my spiritual master, Srila Narayan Maharaj Goswami, and to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here. And I'd like to really thank Yashodanandan Prabhu, Yashodhari, Didi, and all the team who I can't name, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. Because since this has been going on, I've been dipping in and out. I've been having to go to work all day. You know, since this has started, the vibration of it, even when we're not on Zoom actively taking part or watching on the Facebook stream, it's in the air. The vibration of it is all around, and it is just a truly, truly amazing savor that you're doing. To bring us all together like this and to really raise the vibration. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to speak for just maybe 5 minutes, and then I'm going to hand over to Nandasutta Prabhu, as he had so much more direct association with Srila Gurudeva than me. But I'd like to first just explain the kind of roundabout path that I came to Srila Gurudeva, because it really was quite miraculous. I'd been living in Glastonbury, and there were so many near misses on the way. Srila Gurudeva actually spoke in Glastonbury in 1997, and I moved to Glastonbury and began working in the same place where he spoke 1 month, maybe 2 weeks, 1 month later. Just missed like this. I didn't even know about him at the time, but I'd met devotees from the manor, and I was at that time actively seeking for guidance. And it wasn't long before I met some devotees in Glastonbury who lent me a book, and it was one of Srila Gurudeva's books. It was Prabhu. I don't know if anybody remembers that book. Some beautiful lectures given on appearance days and festivals, and I didn't really read it all. I had that book on my mantelpiece for a couple of months, just with Gurudev's picture on the front. And I would look at that picture, and by this time I had understood from reading Srila Prabhupada's books and by some mercy that yes, one does need a spiritual master. And I just would look at his picture and think, when am I going to meet you? When am I going to meet you? And then we had a visitor to my house the following year, and she happened to have taken Shiksha from Srila Gurudev. And I was asking her, is he in the UK this year? Oh, you've just missed him. He was in Wales 1 month ago. And I'm thinking, like, when? Anyway, time went on, and I was fortunate to be able to visit India. visited Vrindavan, sadly not under guidance of a pure Vaishnava, but still I went, and it affected me very deeply. And time moved on, and I moved from Glastonbury to just outside Bath. I was actually living on a boat. Yashodananda and Prabhu may remember this. And suddenly, about 2 days after I moved, I suddenly thought, what am I doing? I've just cut myself off from all the connections with the devotees that I have. I've just moved away from everybody and I don't know anyone here. And I actually began to cry, which was a rare thing for me in those days. I just sat there and wept. When am I going to meet Srila Narayan Maharaj? The next day, I took myself and my little daughter Radha, who was 3 at the time, she's grown up now, and we went into Bath shopping. And at the time I used to wear neck beads. And suddenly, in the distance, this tall, slim figure of a man came running full speed up to me, which was very strange, really, in a crowded shopping street. And myself and Radha would stop. He came running up and he stopped face to face with me. And he said, "Oh, I saw your beads. Are you a devotee?" And it was actually Ramanath Prabhu, who was there with Charitandrika Didi, and distributing books. And it was just like my prayers had been answered. It took actually crying for it to happen, but there he was. He had books. He had the little books, Happiness in a Fool's Paradise, Essence of Bhagavad Gita, and Butter Thief. So, yep, I had those. And I said, "Oh, do you know Narayan Maharaj?" And he said, "Yes, yes." I said, "Oh, I've been waiting to meet him. I really want to hear from him." And Ramanath Prabhu said, "Oh, he's in Birmingham at the moment." And he gave me the information, the connections, and the very next day, myself and little Radha, we were on the train, we were there, we stayed at the Gurudwara on the floor. I was hustling Sripad Ashram Maharaj and Madhava Maharaj, and got to have darshan with Srila Gurudeva, to Parinam. Those early days, it was the feeling more than anything. The very first time I met Srila Gurudeva in person, before I just came, and it was the Rath Yatra, I came straight off the train and offered to help decorate the cart. And then went on the Rath Yatra, and afterwards Srila Gurudeva was speaking in the square in a marquee. And I honestly cannot remember, and even 1 hour later, I could not remember any word that Srila Gurudeva had said, apart from the phrase love and affection. And that was what really stuck with me. And for a long time, when I was in Gurudev's association with the devotees, all I could think really was, oh, this love and affection, I'm running short of time. And yeah, it was only later that I began to be able to kind of imbibe a little bit more. It took going on Vraj Mandal Parakram maybe, but just lastly, I'd like to say, I found it very interesting over the last couple of days, listening to the devotees speaking about how Srila Gurudev affects their heart. And, I too experienced this. The first time I saw him, I was crowding with everybody in Victoria Square in Birmingham, and he came out of his car. And I hid behind a pillar in the town hall. I just hid behind one of the pillars. Suddenly, I just became really shy. But, Gurudev in that way, he just, with those piercing blue eyes, he just homes in on everybody. And he homed in on me, and it was like a nice one, but a punch, like boom, hit me in the heart. That's the only way I can describe it. He hit me in the heart, and like he went in there, And yeah, so thank you again so much for this opportunity to try in my own way to glorify Srila Gurudev. I would have read you some of Srila Gurudev's own words that I read in the Harikatha that was sent out yesterday on how he glorifies his own Gurudev on his Vyasa Puja, because they're such beautiful words. But anyway, thank you so much. Here's Nandasutta, Prabhu.
Om Vishnu Bhataya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Sarasvati Devaguru Vanapchanaye Nivisase Sanvadi Pastate Om Vishnu Bhataya Radhikai Pramane Srimad Bhaktivedanta Sri Lila Katana Sato Madhurya Madhunuska Param Purushmahantam Shras Om Gyanti Maranda Shagana Gana Shlakaya Chakshrovan Manitanyena. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for bringing so much life into the world, arranging this Zoom meeting over the last few days. Even when I've gone off to work or gone in my vehicle to collect Saroj from work, I've been playing on the PC. Whenever I come home, it's still playing, and there's been a wonderful atmosphere permeating the whole house. It's been pretty wonderful. I think it's pretty impossible to glorify Srila Gurudev, really. All we can agree on that we've all had such a stirring of the heart in contact with this wonderful blue-eyed personality of his thief. Gurudev used to joke about Krishna being crooked and he would cheat us. But I think the biggest cheat was Srila Gurudev, because as a stealer of hearts, he certainly tricked us with his beautiful blue eyes, his disarming, sweet love and affection, beautiful character. And he actually tricked us and into his domain, gently calling us into his world. Whenever he would speak, we would be pretty much transported into this world, feeling his world, invited in, and this whole beautiful Vrindavan, world of Vrindavan, would just come to life completely. It transports us there, describing it as if, well, he being there, and we would be there, he would be holding our hands, and we would be there with him. Such a wonderful thing. All I can really, looking back, remember in terms of how the mood was with Srila Gurudev, I would describe the situation as a whirlwind. I remember from 97, when I first met Srila Gurudev, he came to our local Hindu temple, Gita Bhavan, beautiful temple there with Radha Krishna and Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman deities there. And there was a kirtan going on. Srila Gurudev walked in. It was a pretty occasion. But after he'd spoken, he got up from the Vyasa sound, and I just had this thing in my mind going over and over. This is actually my father. This is my father. This is my father. Quite crazy. So, not knowing any etiquette at all, I marched directly up to him, not knowing what he should do and not do, and put my arms around him and gave him a big bear hug. So that was a bit disarming and completely against the etiquette that I just felt really taken away by Srila Gurudev. A few days after that, he went to the Spec Centre in Watford for a few days down there. So I packed all my kids and everyone into my old van, threw a few clothes in the back, drove down to London and slept on someone's floor down there. And it was the most wonderful program that went on down there. I remember one morning knowing there was a class about to take place, and time was short. My dhoti was not clean. I had no time to do anything, no time for breakfast. And I thought, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. I went against all of my instincts, zoomed down there, dirty. Dhoti was unclean, shirt in a mess, probably hadn't had a proper shower, but it just felt really like the right thing to do, to get down there and hear that Harikatha. So there was this energy with Srila Gurudev there where we all felt so enlivened. The devotees would come together and the love shared between everyone. Srila Gurudev is like some magical catalyst where any differences or any misgivings we have between us as an eclectic crowd of people that we are, were just dissolved. We were just one family, one beautiful family together, bringing us together, showing us what we had in common with him. It's pretty difficult to really glorify Srila Gurudev. The next amazing thing that happened a couple of years down the line, someone announced, Sri Parashram Maharaj announced, oh, Srila Gurudev could come and stay at your house. So that was pretty momentous. I tried to turn down the offer because my family were there, didn't feel qualified, etc., etc. Regardless, Srila Gurudev and the whole entourage came, stayed at the house, left their shoes behind. I don't know if you can see Srila Gurudev's shoes here. I think pretty much I felt overawed with Srila Gurudev being around. My job was the sound guy. I do the microphone, speakers, I do the kitchen saver, generally keep my head down, not really understanding what was going on, really feeling completely out of my depth, not knowing what was happening really, except there was a whirlwind stirring up and just blowing everything around. And all of my preconceptions and everything that I thought my life was about, blown up as if there's no rhyme and reason to what my life had previously been. So the magical times of Srila Gurudev. It was also interesting when Srila Gurudev was staying at the house, he would sometimes plan out this with Pujapad Vedanta Madhava Maharaj. So that was I was very fortunate to have those insights. They worked as a team where they would discuss how they were going to present the Tattva Siddhanta. It was very interesting seeing the team in action. Very wonderful. It looks like I only have 1 more minute left. As I say, it's very, very difficult to convey the love and affection that Srila Gurudeva has shared with all of us. I can only say, with this wonderful Zoom meeting that we've had over the last few days, again, I felt that. We've all felt that. I'm sure we've all felt that. It's been extremely enlivening. It's been a wonderful service. Shodanandan and Yashodhari and all of the other devotees together. It's been pretty wonderful. Hope we can do this, perhaps, maybe even do this every year.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much. It's been so enlivening, and thank you so much for the opportunity to share my story. Thank you.
Before Yashodananda Prabhu jumps in, I'm going to say a couple of words that Sarojini Didi, what you described about Srila Gurudev's love and affection, the first thing that is the first thing he taught us. That is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's completely it, and it's so beautiful because he embedded that in us, that like he embedded our goal, he embedded that love and affection with us. So, and Nandasutta Prabhu, you've spent so many years serving Srila Gurudev, and I know you have so many realizations and you're so humble about them and you're so cool about them. You're like the most coolest person ever. But I know that you hold a high regard and love and affection for Srila Gurudev. And if anyone sees reads in between the lines, they'll understand that about you. So I saw that within you today. So I just want to say thank you so much.